Hello, welcome to episode 3 of the Peabody podcast. Today's episode we're joined by Esteban from Blackeyed Peaschile and we're going to be reviewing Behind the Front. Today's episode is really special to me because I just genuinely love this album and it's my favourite album from the group and just in general. Today we go in depth into the tracks, talk about the story of how the album started and give our overall opinions on what we think about the album as a whole and just genuinely just talk about the album to kind of hear everybody's opinion on the album. And this is what it's all about, this podcast, because we all want to hear all the Peabody's opinions and get to know their stories, and this is what's great about this podcast. So anyway, I'm going to get into the podcast. Hope you enjoy.
Hey, what's up? This is E. Well, my real name is Esteban, but my friends call me E. And the Peabodys call me Toro, but it's Toro because that is my last name. You can follow me on @DJE_Chile or in Blackeyed Peaschile IG's account. So thank you for inviting me, and let's go.
Okay, so when I was little, I found a few of the music videos on this DVD called Behind the Bridge to Elephant, and from the first 3 albums, and that was my first introduction to Behind the Front. I was real little when I watched them videos, and then in 2015 I went on holiday to Bulgaria, and there was this radio station I found online on some website called I forgot what it was called, but they just played Black Eyed Peas songs like all the time. You know, they were the only artists that played. And then they played songs like Say Goodbye and like Duet, and I'd never heard them before. And I remember like listening to it like, what is this? Like, I've never heard this before. Like, this is like nothing like what I thought Black Eyed Peas sounded like to all the other albums. And so I think I dug back and I listened to Behind the Front for the first time. And I remember when I listened to it and I was just like, so blown away, because now it's my favourite album, like in general, not just Black Eyed Peas, just in general. For the past 4 years, I think that's been my favourite album. So I just think it's such a great album, and yeah, it's been my favourite ever since. So that's my story about Behind the Front.
Yeah, so my story is a lot different than that. So in around like 2014, 2015, I was listening to the end, the beginning, just because like those are my favorite. Those are the albums that I really known back then. But then I was scrolling through Apple Music and I saw 2 other albums, Behind the Front and Bridging the Gap. So saw Bridging the Gap, I listened to Request Line, and then I saw Behind the Front, and I had never heard any of the songs and never knew any of the names of them or anything. So I listened to Karma. That was the first one that I listened to. And for like that whole year, I was really obsessed with that one song. And it just inspired me to, well, not inspired, but it gave me the idea to like want to get my guitar. I play the guitar. So the guitar riff in the song Karma, one inspired me to want to learn it. Yeah, that's like, that was 2014 to 2015. I'd say that was. And then this past 2019, when I started talking with DJ Motivate, it was the first time I actually listened to Behind the Front fully. And that's when I just fell in love with the song Say Goodbye, which I'll talk about more later. But in so many songs off the album, like A8, Duet, Positivity, so many songs that I never heard of before. And it really was, it was crazy to think that was Black Eyed Peas back then. It was just pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Okay, so my story is kind of uh, different from you guys. Well, I'm 31 years old, so I have like more history background with the Black Eyed Peas. But it was really funny because I always thought that the first song that I listened to the Black Eyed Peas was "Where's the Love," right? So I was watching this music TV channel on cable, and I was listening to "Where's the Love," and then they there was this section of live performances, and they showed a video where they sang "Que dices?" Yeah. So it's about the energy when Taboo goes to the crowd and starts saying like bounce, come on, and I was like, wait a minute, I have heard that song before. So I was trying to remember my school years, and actually there was a national radio station where they played that song years before "Where's the Love." So I
Wow.
was like, wow. So the first real song that I listened to the Black Eyed Peas was not "Where Is the Love," was "Que dices?" And I have no clue that that band were them. So it was like, wow, there is something about that song that like gives me chills
Yeah.
and a different energy, because at that time my music preferences were very different. So when I started to listen to that, it was like, oh, this you start to bounce your head
Mhm.
when the
Yeah.
song starts. So it's like, and and it was like, wow, this is dope. This is really great. And then when I learned that that was the Black Eyed Peas, it was like, oh wow, this is crazy, because not many radio stations here play that kind of music. So that was my first time like listening to the first song of the Black Eyed Peas from the album. And then after that, I listened to the whole album, and it was like, wow, this is like an all new vibe for me. It's
Yeah.
like not the same hip hop that was popular at the time, but it was like, wow, yeah, I couldn't believe that of that coincidence in in my music life. So that's
Yeah, that's a
kind of
that's a that's an
the
interesting
story.
story. That's very
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this
Oh,
album is
right.
just it's very there's I mean it's such a unique album. Like every song has something unique to it, and that's why it's like I can always listen to this album without and there's like every song I can enjoy. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's like
yeah,
so different to the other albums as well, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's even
you can,
different from like Bridging the Gap and Master of the Sun too. It's something really different.
Hmm.
of course, you can listen like to the first music influence of the Black Eyed Peas, and also I think that you can still hear some of the elements of this album in their hit album, like in Elephant and Monkey Business. They still
Hmm.
use some like very very subtle elements of the music, like the bass or a little bell that you can listen in some songs, and that gives you like the sound of this old school. So it was like really different from everything I heard up to that time, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so following up, I think it's a great like album opener. You know, it's like I think it's the perfect one. Like out of all the songs, like that's the best one to kind of start it with. I think this is one of my favorite songs off the album. I think it works really good live as well. I feel like they could have still done it today. Like if they had it on the set list, it would be such a cool idea. The music video is really cool as well. I love all the music videos from that era, but that's like one of my favorites. I also love the lyric where Will goes,
We don't use dollars to represent. We just use our innocence and talent.
because like for me that represents their whole, you know, what they represent, like the whole career, and especially in Behind the Front, like that's all they kind of cared about instead of like the money and stuff like that, I guess. So I really like that lyric. So yeah, that's what I have to say about Falling Up. I'll give it 7 out of 10.
So for me, for Falling Up, I said similar to what you said. It's a great introduction to the album, and I like how it was the first song to ever be released by the Black Eyed Peas with KD. And my
Yeah.
favorite part of the song is the chorus. And little fun fact, Apple wrote that chorus on a bus. And additionally, I enjoy the vocals by Sierra Swan and Planet Swan. And I think that Will's verse is very, very well done as well. And also on this song, it has the skit one at the end. There's 3 songs
Yeah.
on this album that have that, and that's one of my favorite things of this album.
Yeah.
And this skit is actually probably my favorite one out of all 3 of them.
Can I just say something about that? I've also found out before the skit, the rap game, the host, Mitch Ramstein, is actually voiced by Ben Moore from Blood of Abraham. So that's really
wow.
cool. Yeah, Will said it on a live stream at some point when he was talking about it. So yeah, it's cool.
I never knew that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Moore's big part of the Black Eyed Peas family. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like reminiscing and reminding. I'm sorry about my English, but I'm trying to find the correct words. But yeah, some parts of this falling up lyrics are just like crazy. You see, yeah, you can interpret these lyrics in so many ways. For example, when it says focus on this, the introductionist or a lyricist in this rap metropolis.
Focus on this, the introductionist, more than lyricists in this rap metropolis.
You can think that they are like introducing the song or also like introducing themselves as a band to society, you see, because they took like a city and like bringing this new style to their music. Also, for us Chileans that we speak Spanish, is very difficult to understand the meaning of falling up. You see, like in a translation way, it's like contradictory. You see, because you say falling, it's like cayendo and up arriba, so it's really confusing. But the lyrics are like uh, you have to read beyond them. You have to listen to beyond these lyrics. And I also one of these the things that I love about this is that when the Black Eyed Peas were on the on the Monkey Business tour, they still did like a little part of this song before as an introduction, of course, to Don't Lie. If I miss.
Oh, cool.
I think they started like we're falling up, we're falling up, and then started like Don't Lie or Shut Up. I don't remember very well, but it's like okay, we're still introducing this band to society, to this all new lyrics. You see, so it's awesome that this part of the lyrics matches like with the first song of this album. You see. So I love this part of the head bouncing like introduction like to this vibe to the album, and I still listen to it and I still have it on my playlist, and you can still like have memories of the time when you listen for the first time to this album. I remember that it brings me a lot of memories like in my teenage years, like what kind of music I like, because all people when are teenagers say, no, you like rock, you can't like hip hop, you see, or you like soul, you can't like reggaeton, you see. So they try to put you just in one style, but the Black Eyed Peas, you can do that with this band, and you can see that that was from the beginning of their career, not from Elephant, not from Monkey Business, not from the end, but from the very beginning of this trio, you see?
Hip hop is progressive. Its natural form is progressive. It's just that it started to regress at one point in time. So we took it in our duties to progress it again. I mean, hip hop is a form of music that encompasses a whole bunch of different forms of music. You know, you could take a jazz ballad and put it in a hip hop form. You could take a country song. Boom, boom. I mean, that Busta Rhymes is a country song.
Okay, so the next song, Clap Your Hands.
Yeah. Okay, Clap Your Hands. I really like the sample on this. I forgot what the sample is, but it's really cool. When I listen to this song, I always get a vibe of like, it's like a dance song. Like, not But I'd say like a dance song for the Peas. Like if they were gonna ever perform that song live, that'd be a song where they'd like start dancing to it, you know, and start doing all the freestyling and stuff like that to it, because that's kind of the vibe I get from that. I really, really like this track. It doesn't stand out to me as much now it used to, but I think I've listened to this album so many times, and that song kind of gets a bit too repetitive for me, but I really do like this song. I'd give it 6 out of 10 for me.
So for Clap Your Hands, it's not my personal favorite, but there's still some things about it that I do enjoy. The verses are okay, and the song's a little too repetitive for me. Yeah, nothing really stands out in my opinion, but I do like the vocals by Don Beckman and Dante Santiago. However, I would have preferred a song like Leave It All Behind from the Joints and Jam single in its place, because I don't know, it's not one of my favorite songs. I give it a 5 out of 10.
All right.
Okay.
Well, in my opinion, I think that the best part of this song is the drums. I think that
Yeah, I agree.
they have like a very different kind of drumming in this song. So yeah, lyrics are kind of forgettable because, as Charlie said, it turns like repetitive. But
Mhm.
I think the drumming is it sounds almost live. You see, not like in a studio. So it is like similar to the to the little drummer boy. Yeah, like that kind of vibe is giving me. So I think that better than the lyrics, I think is the rhythm. The bass of the song is like what calls the attention in this song.
Yeah, it's very raw as well, like the drums. That's what I think as well.
I,
It's
I,
like,
I thought at the beginning I thought that this was kind of like an interlude or something like that they can use in their concerts. So because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sounds
definitely.
like a transition, you see. But
Mhm.
yeah, it turns out that the lyrics are okay, but I insist they have better songs in this album.
Like this here, that's obviously a sample. A regular hip hop group, I mean, not a regular, other hip hop groups, they probably take this bad boy and it'll be through the whole song. And then rap over that for 5 minutes. Black Eyed Peas would take that and it'll climb up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then that's like a pre-chorus, and then it'll go into the chorus. You know what I mean?
So now on to Joyce and Jam.
Well, I really like this song. Again, it doesn't stand out, but I feel like because it was their biggest hit from this album, I think that's the only reason why I feel like it's been overplayed for me a bit too much from like me being so young and hearing it to now. Songs like that always happen for me. Like, I always feel like that, but obviously I really, really like this song. Also, I didn't know this. It's just kind of came to mind, but I found out that Kim Hill doesn't actually sing on this song. Is that right?
Yeah,
I'm
so
pretty sure.
on
Yeah.
this song, it's I can tell the story if you want. It's
Yeah.
it's this female singer named Ingrid Dupre who's actually singing on this song. So whenever they perform this on Soul Train and in the music video, that was Ingrid Dupre's vocal singing, but Kim Hill just like lip synced them essentially. But
Wow.
both of them have very similar voices. So that's why you can easily confuse this song for
Yeah.
being Kim Hill.
Because I couldn't tell at all, and then when I found out, I was so like, what? I was so
Yeah.
confused. Yeah, so that's what stuck out for me as well. And I really like the music video to this as well. Like, I love the breakdancing section at the end, like when they're all dancing and stuff. And I think Kim's great in the video as well.
My favorite was Joints and Jam.
Yeah.
We got to, you know, there was not a lot of like effects back then, so we had to kind of ghetto rigging it, but we made it happen. And then, of course, the dancing at the end, that's like very classic, like Black Eyed Peas.
I said rigging it. No, I was just saying there wasn't that many effects.
Yeah. Oh shit, I said nigga rigging it.
No.
Ghetto rig.
Yeah, ghetto rigging it.
Yeah, we was ghetto rigging it. Because we looked like we were getting sucked into the camera and the glass, and we just had like a fan behind us, and we were just acting like we were getting, you know. So it's a lot of acting, and and plus the dancing.
Oh yeah, it got loads of airtime on MTV. And yeah, that's what I have to say. Did I rate it? I think I'd rate it 8 out of 10 for me.
So for me, for Joints and Jam, I first off wanted to say a shout out to my inspiration, Mr. DJ Motivate, because he makes this song really amazing with the scratching. It's probably my favorite part of the song.
Yeah.
But anyways, this song is really good. It was very well produced by will.i.am and Paul Pulley. And again, very good vocals by Ingrid Dupre, not Kim Hill. And again, I really enjoy the music video as well. And the ending part is probably my favorite with the band. Kevin, Mike, Brian, and Terry Yoshiaki. That's probably my favorite part of the video. And I really do like this song. Not my favorite off the album, but I give it a 7 out of 10.
Awesome. Yeah, and I got some notes here, and it says that this song contained samples from "Love Till the End of Time." So
Yeah.
when I heard that, it was like, oh, really? So they can remix at this level. They can remix music and to introduce uh, another songs, other songs through their songs. So it was like the first time that I was aware that music in general used to use samples. You see, so in this case was wow, what a surprise for me because I thought this was full original from the Black Eyed Peas, like since the lyrics to the melody, and it was like a very shocking because I was like kind of disappointed, but then I thought it, and it was like no, but it's like what they're doing now. So they are taking like all old songs and do it popular, so we can know this artist and the old artist. So it was like, wow, for a great hit like Joints and Jams. Like as Charlie said, the video is awesome too. But it was like, okay, this is one of their biggest hits of this album. But in my mind, it was like they it's not fully originally of the Black Eyed Peas. So I searched the song and okay, it's not like they used the complete song, yeah, but it was like what a good way to remix it. So to use that sample, so it was like then I heard it on the radio and they did some remixes at the time of Joints and Gems and I was like, if the DJs do this, why can't they do it? Because they have the money to pay for legal rights and stuff, and it was like, in general, this shit is amazing. So Jason James is like, uh, for me, one of their most popular songs of the album, but it's one of my favorites, of course, but not the best yet. Yeah, but I like the lyrics. I love the rhythm, of course, and I love that when I heard it, it was like for me the first song that I heard from the Black Eyed Peas that had a female influence of the
Yeah.
album. So it was like, is it Jim? Okay, who's that? Is Apple? Is Taboo? What happened to their voices? It was like, so they are using like they are dropping this new fraction of formula because I love to talk about formulas when I talk about the Black Eyed Peas. So this formula of three powerful lyricists, performers, and then you drop something smooth, something sexy to the songs, to the performances, and the formula worked. So this was the first time that I recognized the Black Eyed Peas formula in the music industry. So overall, James and James is a good song, very good hit, and I will rate it 8 out of 10.
Okay, so the next song is "The Way You Make Me Feel."
I really like this track. This is probably, I won't say it's my favorite. It's either this or Duet, in my opinion, of my favorite tracks on this album. And I think this one really showcases Kim Hill's voice. This is kind of like her track for me. in a sense, because it just showcases her. I think this is really such just like a jazz track. Like it's so influenced by jazz and soul, and it's so chilled out and just. I think the production on this as well is just really well done, and I feel like these kind of tracks are my favorites in terms of like Black Eyed Peas and like Behind the Front era. Like these kind of slow jazz influenced tracks are my favorites. So I'd rate it probably 9 out of 10 for me for the way you make me feel. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of stuff you said. It's the first song on the album to have Kim Hill, and I feel like it's probably one of her best songs she recorded with them, and it's definitely her song. And I like the fact that she co-wrote it with Will, and how her vocals are just on point. They're really good. It's a song that the album needs at this point, because all the other songs are kind of upbeat, and it has some emotions to it as well. And yeah, I love the song. Shout out to Kim Hill. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
All right, so I think that you said almost everything because this is one of the best songs of the album. I think that it's very smooth. Yeah, it's very sexy, as Charlie said. Um, the lyrics are just on point, and the interventions of the second voices are also like precise. I'm talking like a DJ point of view because it's like what you can put on a. I mean, you can play this song in a like in a dinner, like in a cocktail, and it suits. You see, it fits, and it's like another vibe of the previous song. So it's like a little jazzy, a little soul, and I love the way they incorporated the Kim Hill's vocals are like no not like exaggerated to show her vocal quality, but it's like really smooth, really. And to me, it's like a very good, well felt, I can say, because you can feel the song, that you can feel that like what it provokes. So it's like the high notes, the low notes are like you can play it everywhere, and it gives you like a relaxing feeling. You see, like a breather, like you can take a deep breath and you listen to this song, and everything is going to start to cool down, to feel better. You see, and I think it's just on point. You see, so I will rate this like 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's one of my favorites of this album.
Okay, so Movement. I really like Movement in terms of its lyrical context. Like, is it lyrical context? I don't know. But the way what the song's about, what I really like about this song is the lyrics, because it just talks about the P's talking about, going all around the world and like hitting different areas, all the different cities and countries, and like picking fans up as they go. And it's like, this song to me, like, although Falling Up was an introduction song, I see this as the introduction song, just because it's like they're letting everybody know what their sound is about and what they're about, and this is what I like. And also, the song's very kind of live. It's a live song, like in terms of, I remember hearing Will, I don't know when, but I read it in an interview, and it was Will created Behind the Front in a way that all the songs could be performed live because it's a live album. And when they went to Bridging the Gap, it was more not electronic but more produced, whereas Behind the Front is very raw and live. And so this song represents that for me. And so yeah, I'd give it 8 out of 10. And so yeah, that's what I've got to say about Movement. Also, I didn't want to mention this, but I'm editing right now the podcast, and I just want to clarify, while we were recording us talking, we didn't record half of the album review, so we had to do it separate tracks. And I haven't got the reviews for Movement, so there's only me reviewing Movement. So that was my thoughts on Movement, and now we're going to move on to Karma. And we've got audio clips of Matt and Esteban and me talking about the rest of the tracks. So sorry about that. No one's fault. I just had to bring it up just because it sounds obvious from the recording. But anyway, okay, let's carry on.
Okay, so for the song Karma, it's one of my favorite songs off the album, and it's one of the first Black Eyed Peas songs from behind the front that I ever listened to, and I really like the music video. It has really good vocals by Einstein Brown, and I really like the meaning of the song. I also enjoy Kim Hill's cameo in the video. The video did definitely, when I first watched the song, was not pleasant, but now that I've got a little older, I can understand the meaning of it, and that's what I gotta say about Karma.
So for Karma, for me, I really like this track. One of my favorites from the album. I mean, this was a single, and as Matt was saying, the music video, it was eerie, and I mean, I didn't like it when I was younger. I think because when Will on his shoulder had the blood, that was just one reason. And also at the ending when Will's out on the floor and he's like crawling to the camera, and it's like a bit eerie and stuff. Like, I guess that's what I could say about the music video. But I also really like, in terms of its meaning, like the lyrics are really, when you look into it, it's quite dark. Like there's a lyric that Will says that goes,
You tie the noose, I kick the chair. I'm the cyanide that snatch your life while you gasp for air. The echo of the fuck you that boomerangs to hurt your loved ones. The thief that took your son held by ransom. The pervert that raped your wife. The hand that held the knife that took your life. You shot Tupac and Big Air. Now I'm coming after you like VWXYZ.
and it's just like, just some of the meanings, like just some of the things he says is it just makes you think, and it's like, whoa, right, okay, right, you know. And the music video picks up on that. It's like hidden meanings, like you could dissect the music video and then you understand, and it relates to the lyrics, you know. So Black Eyed Peas, for Karma, they sampled a song called One Way or Another by Blondie, and this is quite cool to me because, as Esteban was saying before with Love Till the End of Time for Joints and Jam, how like he was a bit like shocked how, like, you know, in terms of sampling and stuff, and like obviously there's like a debate with like sampling, like sometimes people are like okay with sampling, and some people think that it's like unoriginal and like lazy and stuff like that. But what I think about sampling is, you know, it introduces you to new music, and it's like Black Eyed Peas have done that a lot for me in the past. For example, this, right? Okay, One Way or Another by Blondie. Last couple of years, like about 2 or 3 years, I've been getting really into like new wave indie 80s music, like The Cure, Blondie, The Smiths, Joy Division, New Order. And so hearing that, like, I thought One Way or Another, right? I thought that part was Black Eyed Peas, right? But no, it's Blondie's One Way or Another, and I was like so confused. But like I was like, wow, okay, like they can take inspiration from songs, and then that made me listen to that song. And now I've got a completely new, different music taste because I've found other songs by Black Eyed Peas. Like, for example, Meet Me Halfway, they sample a song called Maps by Yeah Yeah Yeahs. And now Yeah Yeah Yeahs have become one of my favourite bands now. Like, I genuinely love that band, and I wouldn't have heard their music if it weren't for listening to Meet Me Halfway and like digging back and looking into the samples and stuff. So Karma, for me, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It's a great track. So yeah.
All right, so Karma. I have mixed feelings with this song because the melody is kind of sad, kind of creepy, and here when we have to speak about English music here in Chile, you have to translate the lyrics so you can understand what it's really saying. So I was a kid when I listened to this, and it was like really, really creepy way to listen to that without knowing the lyrics. And when I saw the video, it was very shocking too. So
but life's gonna get you. That's the real message, and I love the lyrics of this song. So I would rate it a 7 out of 10, just because the little kid inside of me still listen with a little afraid of it, right?
So for the song Be Free, it's not a bad song, but it's not one of my favorite songs to listen to. The verses are not my favorite. The only thing I really do enjoy about this song is Kim Hill's vocals. Besides that, there's nothing that really stands out to me. And I don't want to sound negative, but whenever I play behind the front on hold, it's one of the only songs that I will skip. So I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, so B3 for me. I really like this track, although it's not a standout track for me, obviously. But like, I mean, you're gonna get that with some songs on an album where you don't have, you'll have your favorites. I mean, you don't have, some don't stand out, but like, I think like Matt said, Kim Hill's vocals for me are like the best bit of the song. They're the only standout thing really for this song. I mean, sorry. And yeah, I mean, in terms of this album, you're gonna get songs where I think you can't have every song on an album be like an amazing song, but like it's still a great track, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna give this 7 out of 10.
Be Free. Well, I love this song. It's like a danceable song. It's different from the previous in the album. It's like I love the electro features of it, and the vocals of everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. I love the fact that it's a very positive song. You see, and I love the lyrics. The vocals are crazy, and I would rate it 8 out of 10.
For the song Say Goodbye, this is my favorite song off the album. Shout out to my teacher, DJ Motivate. Just wanted to say that it has a very powerful message, this song. It's a song that I can always listen to. I'll always enjoy it. The message is so powerful. The sample is used throughout many songs, including probably the most standout, Jennifer Lopez and her song Jenny from the Block. And the message is, it's so powerful. Scratching by Motivate is amazing. Vocals by Don Beckman, another fact to the song. It's just a great song, and I give it a 10 out of 10.
So for Say Goodbye, this is a standout track for me for so many reasons. The main reason is the lyrics, because when you analyze the lyrics, it's pretty dark in terms of its meaning, and what I get of the song is that the world's ending. Like, they're talking about everything kind of going bad in terms of like, it's hard to explain, but like, you get where I'm coming from in terms of like its lyrics. Like, okay, so like a lyric like, we are slowly being slaughtered, so be prepared for the new world order. Or, we could all try now, but just look up in the sky, we ain't got no O's left, we are going to die. Crime and corruption is the only season, is it because the reason is that we're out of time? Like, lyrics like that stand out for me in terms of this track. And also, like I've said for a few points in this podcast about some of the songs, is like, it gives me that live feel again. Like, the whole album has that kind of guitar, drums and bass, and then Will Apple and Taboo are kind of rhyming and emceeing over the tracks, whereas like all the other albums don't feel like that to me. And that's the reason why I like Behind the Front, because this gives a very raw feeling, a raw live feel, right? It's not overproduced, but it's produced to a point where it's really well done. I guess that's what I could say about Say Goodbye. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it's a solid track featuring Dawn Beckman, like Matt said. So yeah, that's what I could say about it.
First of all, I love the fact that in Say Goodbye we got the sample of Heaven and Hell is on Earth. And then many other artists like J-Lo and some others start to put it in their songs, but with different meanings. J-Lo was like, don't forget when you come from, don't forget who I am, I don't know, stay humble. But this one talks about things that at that time happened in society and still happens. So this was like the pioneer of the social single hits from the Black Eyed Peas. Definitely is one of my favorites in terms of lyrics, so I would rate him 8 out of 10.
The song Duet, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's a solid song off the album. But my favorite part about this is that the song has to be the collaboration with Redfoo. I mean, it's cool hearing his vocals from back in 1998, comparing them to songs like he did now in 2010, Sexy That I Know It with LMFAO. It's pretty cool to see that. And a fun fact about this song is that the concept from this song comes from Apon Clan's song called Duet. It's the only song from Apon Clan and Behind the Front that have a similarity, and that's the title. And Will worked with DJ Motivate producing it for Apon Clan, and then they produced it kind of like a remake for Behind the Front. So that's a pretty cool fun fact about this song. And that's also another reason why Taboo doesn't sing on this song, because it was used in Apon Clan, and he was not in Apon Clan. So I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, so Duet. Like I said before, The Way You Make Me Feel and Duet are my favourite tracks on the album. As of now, every time I think of my favourite tracks, them two tracks are my favourite. This features Redfoo, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because he's from LMFAO, and like people who don't know, or like they listen to the album and they hear him, you're not going to notice. But like, he's from LMFAO, the group that did Sorry for Party Rockin' and Party Rock Anthem, and also worked with will.i.am and Fergie. So this track, for me, I really like it because it's another, like The Way You Make Me Feel. I think that's why I like them too, in general, because they both give the same vibe, and that's that kind of slow jazz soul. It's nothing too special, but that's what makes it great. It's because there's not too much going on. It's very slow and just and the act as well is like kind of just a break from all the fast tracks, like Joints and Jam or Clap Your Hands or KDsis. Like songs like these kind of give you a break to kind of just sit back and relax and listen to what they're talking about. And so that's why I like Duet. And so that's all I could say about Duet. It's a fantastic track. 9 out of 10. It's great.
So Communication, like Charlie said, it wasn't his favorite song, but I have to totally disagree with it. I actually really like this song. It has some of my favorite verses by Will, Apple, and Tab, and I'll agree, it definitely seems like it's never gonna end. It's a little repetitive, but it's a classic Black Eyed Peas song in my opinion, because it's one of the only songs on this album that's no featured artists, no collaborations, just will.i.am, Apple and Taboo rapping on this song. And I really do enjoy the intro to this song, and this is also the last song to have a skit, and that's skit 3, and that's my favorite skit off the album.
Okay, Communication. Now, if I have to choose a least favourite track, it'd have to be Communication, although that doesn't make it a bad track. There's nothing really for me to kind of get from that track. Like, it's just another song on the album, but I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm being too negative, because this genuinely is my favourite album, but I feel like you get them songs where you're a bit like, when you're reviewing an album, you've got to like point out, the things, what you think about the album, or the song. So Communication is like, it's a great track. I just think it's too repetitive in terms of the structure of the track. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, there's not really a chorus. It's just kind of Will, Apple, and Taboo kind of going back and forth between freestyling. So it's more of a freestyle track, the way I see it. And it's got that live, raw feel again, like I've said in the past. So there's nothing I can really say about this track. It's a great song, but there's nothing I really could comment on it, But I'd give it 6 out of 10 for me.
Okay, so the next song is What It Is, and I'd give this song a 7 out of 10. It's a very hard song for me to rate. I was back and forth between a 7, 8, and actually a 9 on this song. But I went a 7 because it's not my favorite song to listen to. I do like it a lot. But it's just not my favorite. I do like a lot of parts of it. But it's not my favorite to listen to entirely. It's definitely my favorite music video from Behind the Front. And It showcases yet again Kim Hill's amazing talents because she kills the vocals on this track. It's amazing. This is her last appearance on the album, and I wish she was featured in a couple other songs, but she did get 3 appearances on this album, and that's really good. So yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, what it is. So I love this song so much. This was probably it was one of the first songs I ever heard from Behind the Front because of the DVD, like I said before, Behind the Bridge to Elefunk. And I got introduced by that, and like, you know, I remember watching the What It Is music video like at a very, very young age. Like, I remember watching it, and I can still picture like me watching it, you know, when I was little. And so I get memories from this song. Like, even though that I was born after Behind the Front, I still have memories from listening to the early songs because of that, because of the DVD, and just growing up with their music in general. It's, you know, it's more, this one's more nostalgic for me because, you know, like I said, I grew up with it, so I really like this track. It's another one of them chill songs. I really like everybody's verses on it. Kim Hill's vocals, you know, like, there's nothing you can say wrong about Kim Hill's voice. Like, every single song that she's been, you know, performed on has just been great, and I wish there was more songs that she could have sang on, you know, in the past, because now that she's not in the group, you know, she hasn't been in the group since 2000, but like, I just wish she could have sang on more songs, like, had more, or like, if there were more tracks, like, if there was more tracks in, like, we haven't heard yet, but she sang on, I'd love to hear them, because, you know, I really like Kim Hill, and she did a lot for the group. That's fine, like, we've got Behind the Front, we've got Bridging the Gap, and I can still listen to these albums and be like, wow, Kim Hill is great, you know? And so, anyway, that's what I love about What It Is. The music video is great, that's just them on tour, just like, having fun, and it shows what the group's like as well, you know, just them on tour, having fun, you know, so, and it shows what they're like live as well, it showcases what they're like live, so, yeah, that's what I have to say about What It Is. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
So what is it? What I like of this song is the fact that the rhythm is like very clever to the vocals. It's like a nice beat. Yeah, I think the chorus is like for chilling, and I like the fact that it goes back to the hip hop style of the Black Eyed Peas. So I would rate this an 8 out of 10.
So for the song KD Says, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Again, this song and Communication are very similar, in my opinion. Communication, in my opinion, is the better song out of the two, but KD Says is still a very good song. It's the first ever BEP song ever to have a Spanish title, which paved the way for many more songs, including Latin Girls and the entire Translation album, essentially. And I don't want to sound negative again, but it's a song that sometimes I would skip when listening to the entire album. But regardless, it still has many good factors to it. I think it was a good single. It was released with Falling Up. It's a good single. So yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, KD Says, a standout track for me, a standout live track. Okay, and the reason why I say this is because if you look back on YouTube and you see, like Esteban said, when To Be goes out to the crowd and he's like, bounce, 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 right? That's why I love the track, because I've seen it in a different way now that I've watched the live performances, because they do it they don't do it different, they do it with more energy. And that's why I like Behind the Front, because it showcases, if you did the songs live, the way more energy filled, the more, I feel like the better live Behind the Front songs, and I feel like, you know, KD Says shows that. The guitar on this song, I really like. I really like the guitar on this song. I mean, there isn't a reason. I think I really like the chords. I think that's what sticks out. And it showcases the talents as well in terms of the verses. And, I mean, that's all I can say, really, but I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
So, ¿Qué dices? As I said before, this is my favorite song of the album. I would rate immediately 10 out of 10. For the reasons I said before, of course, the relationship I have with this song, the fact that the title is in Spanish, and that energy that Taboo brings into the audience when he started the song, like bounce, come on, and I love the melody, how it starts, because it kind of makes you move or bounce your head like yeah. So this is my favorite song of the album. I still play this song when I do my DJ sets, some remix and mixed with some classic hip hop and old school singles. Yeah, so I love it. 10 out of 10, no doubt.
The next song, A8, I give it a 9 out of 10. This song has become one of my favorites more recently. Myself being a guitar player for 10 years now, I've been inspired to learn this guitar pattern played by Kevin Fine on this song. It's amazing. It's amazing. The chorus song by Will and Apple is very well, but my favorite verse has to go to Taboo, and I really love this song. It's very underrated. One of my top 3 favorite songs on this album.
Okay, A8. So, this track, again, it's like with communication and possibly, be free. All that, this is a really good track. I do love this track a lot. And I really like the sample in the chorus. I forgot what his name is. George Benjour, I think. I'm going to have to look this up while I'm editing, so hopefully I'm right. So that sample's really cool. I really like that, and they used a lot of his music in this album as well. That gives it that kind of jazz, Latin vibe as well, a little bit of a Latin vibe. So, this song's really good. It works well as being the song that's near the end of the album. I think this is what I like about the album as well, in terms of the track listing. Like, it's a perfect track list. It's a really good track. I'd give it 7 out of 10 for me.
A8. This is a clever title for this song. It's like kind of confusing, like to pronounce. I love the fact that this is like classic trio Black Eyed Peas songs, all drummers and good bass, simple bass, and just lyrics after lyrics, and kind of freestyling too. I love the lyrics of this, and I think this is kind of like a classic, not the best hit, but a classic song of that era of the Black Eyed Peas. I would rate this a 7 out of 10.
So the next song is Love Won't Wait, and this song, well, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, and this song is very interesting to me. I have a lot to say about it. First off, it's Macy Gray's first collaboration with the Black Eyed Peas. She's on 2 other songs from one of them's on Bridging the Gap, and one of them's like a single. But she makes this song very unique. It's her first collaboration with them, and she adds a really big factor to the song. And like I said, it's a very interesting song to me, and that's for many reasons, but mainly because of its title. At first, I didn't really understand what the lyrics had to do with the title, but now that I've listened to this song a lot more, I really see the connection, and I do enjoy it a lot. My favorite part of the song is when Apple kind of like sings in the middle of Will's verse, and he says, she was like, I'm leaving. That's a really good part of the song. And this song is a very good song that introduced us to Black Eyed Peas and Macy Gray, who Macy Gray wasn't an official Black Eyed Peas member, but she did work very closely with them. And yeah, that's what I'd say about that.
Okay, Love Won't Wait, and this features Macy Gray. This is one of my favourite songs. I've said that so many times for a lot of these tracks. But I really like how Macy Gray, I think, I'm not too sure, but this was one of the first songs that Macy Gray was ever featured on. And they kind of got, BEP kind of got her on the map, I think, because they worked with her, and then they worked with her on Request Line. And so, anyway, yeah, this song, this has a story to this song, it's all about, like, love, and I'm sure it's heartbreak as well, and Macy Gray and Will are kind of having this, and Apple, I'm not sure if Taboo's on this one, I can't remember, but they're having a conversation to each other in this song. It's, like, kind of cool that they've done that. It's kind of like Shut Up in a way, you know? And so I kind of, now thinking about it, I would have loved a music video for this song, or possibly KD's this. Great track. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
I love the message of love won't wait, because I think it's what we should think about love. You see, you have to love freely. And also, I love the vocals of Macy Gray. She's awesome. I love the fact that she doesn't only appears in the chorus, but also she has a verse in the song. So I think it's a very calm song, like a message song, and it also shows that the not trio formula, but adding a female voice, is not just an extra element in the song, but is a part of it. That's why Macy is not only in the chorus, but also in the verse. So I would rate this one 9 out of 10. Definitely one of my favorites.
The next song is Head Bops. And I gave this song a 6 out of 10. And it's another hard song for me to rate. I gave it a 6 though because there's something about it that doesn't really click. I do enjoy the music video. I do. It's a good music video. I like the breakdancing. And a fun fact, it was the first music video to be filmed. It was filmed in 1997. And it was released, but the song was not... sorry. Did not mean that. It was not released, and as the song wasn't released as a single. In my opinion, though, I'm glad it was not a single because it doesn't seem like single quality. But again, it's a song, but I would have liked them to add a verse in from Tab because it just seems a little too repetitive to keep hearing Will and Apple rap the whole time.
Head Bobs. Okay. I love this song. I love the music video more than the song, and I'll comment on that in a minute. Head Bobs is the perfect live track. In terms of songs where I've said that it sounds live and it sounds like it should be played live, Head Bobs is the perfect one for that. And I think reason why is because it's only got guitar, bass and drums like a normal song, right? There's nothing really electronic about it, I don't think, apart from... No, I think that's it. So, that's what I love about this song, because I'm more into rock music, or not rock, but indie or alternative. And for a song that has rapping over guitar, bass and drums is really cool for me, because that touches what I listen to. And so you get a bit of everything in this album, and that's what I love about this song as well. And so anyway, yeah, the music video is really cool, because if you want to see what BEP were like before Fergie, before the Fergie days, or, before they blew up and everybody knew who they were, you can watch that video and it just shows what they were like. And plus the Head Bobs music video was the first music video that they ever recorded. It was back in 1997. What I love about the music video is all the colours, all the different shots and locations that there are, that they're in. I think they're all shot in LA, and the music video was directed by Brian Boletic, I think. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I might be wrong, I might be right, I don't know. So yeah, I love the music video because of all of its colours and everything, and so yeah, I mean, it's a standout track, and it's my favourite music video by the Black Eyed Peas, or possibly of all time. I can't describe why. I just love the music video, so I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Head Bobs gives me the idea of will.i.am's solo part in the concerts, touring, when Kid Harris starts drumming and he starts freestyling about whatever he sees to make a good show. And I love because it's pure hip-hop for me. I know there are another influences in this song, but to me it's like a new approach to the hip-hop in those days. So Head Bobs, to me, it's 7 out of 10, just because it needs a stronger bass to be a better single.
So the last song on the album is Positivity, and I give this song 8 out of 10. It's another song from this album that has a positive message, which is another reason why I really do enjoy it. And it's a great way to conclude the album. I mean, the Black Eyed Peas have always done a good job concluding their albums for songs like, I Request Line from Bridging the Gap did really well, and of course, Where's the Love did really well. Union, Big Love, I'm just listing songs now, but this song is one of the best album closers by the Black Eyed Peas, and I really do enjoy Will, Apple, and Tab. They all get an equal amount in this song. A little fun fact about this song is that it has a hidden outro, which makes this song a total of like 8 minutes, which is crazy. And the first part of the outro has some more vocals, but the second part is instrumental, and that's like, in my opinion, the perfect way to end this album. And it fits perfectly in the song. It's an 8 out of 10. And, it makes Behind the Front. It started with Falling Up, it ended with Positivity, and that really makes this album great.
Okay, last track, Positivity. I feel like everybody loves this song, and I can't quite get to it, but I will admit there's like 3 parts to this song which I find really cool. So there's like the beginning part, and then there's the other bit where Apple's rapping, and it speeds up a little bit, and it's like a change of like beat and everything. It's like a completely different change. And then there's the instrumental section, which Tyler, the creator, actually said that he used to freestyle over this beat, and he'd practice rapping over that instrumental, which I found really cool.
First rap album I remember getting, my aunt got me Black Eyed Peas Behind the Front album, and I really liked it because
the very first Black Eyed Peas?
Behind the Front, the very first one. This might be 90s, into 97, 98. will.i.am mixed, he had a love for jazz and Brazilian and like stuff like that, but was rapping over it, so it was a good mixture of, again, hard drums and raps, but it had really pretty music under it. And I wrote my first raps to number 16 on the album. It's a song called Positivity, and at the end it's this like weird hybrid bossa nova instrumental, and I wrote my first raps to that instrumental.
Finally, Positivity. Actually, I love the fact that this song is about what the title says: good vibes, positivity, good energies, but also with all the freaking problems that we have to deal day by day, and the attitude that we should have to battle our everyday battles. See, so I love the lyrics. The message is very assertive. The vocals are nice, although it kind of creeps me the na 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 na. It feels like I don't know, weird, but I can get what is for this song, right? So it's a good way to finish this album. So I would rate this 8 out of 10.
So thank you to Esteban for joining this episode of Peabody Podcast. It was a pleasure to have you on. It's great having these guests on for the album reviews. It helps us a lot to get a lot of different people's perspectives on certain songs from many different eras of the Black Eyed Peas. So thank you for joining us, and it was fun time doing this this podcast.
Okay, thank you for inviting me. It was really fun. I love to talk about the first albums of the Black Eyed Peas with fans who really gets the lyrics. So thank you for the invitation. I had fun, and I hope to rejoin in another episode to help you.
Yeah,
whatever
definitely.
you need.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.